Hello, this is Jan from Red Toad Art Studios, and today we're going to learn how to draw this cute baby bird. Now you will need just a few items, not much, and I imagine you have them laying around your house right now. You'll need a pencil, any kind of pencil. You'll need an eraser, whether it's the one on your pencil, although sometimes these aren't too good. I like to have a dedicated eraser and a piece of paper, any kind of paper, any size of paper. It's that simple. That's all you need, and yourself. So, let's get started. Now, if you would like, before we get started, you can go to our website and download a step-by-step tutorial on how to draw our bird. And these are absolutely free for you to download and print. And this is what we will be following today. So let's get started with our drawing. Now, my little bird, he's got long legs, and he's got a tail. Now, he is a whimsical bird. He won't look like any bird you've ever seen outside. But I need to allow room for his long legs and his tail when I draw him. And the first thing we're going to draw is a circle. This is for his body. So I'm going to put my circle right about here so there's room for his tail feathers and his long legs. And you can just draw this circle freehand. It does not have to be perfect. Okay? Birds aren't made perfect, are they? Well, I think they're kind of perfect, but their bodies definitely aren't perfect circles. So just lightly outline yourself a circle about here on your piece of paper. Now, your paper may be a different size, and that's fine. Just put it about, 3/4 of the way up on your piece of paper. Now, draw lightly right now. You may want to erase some of these lines, and you don't want dark lines that you can't get rid of. Now, I'm going to draw a little heavier. In fact, I'll go over this so I'm sure you can see it on the camera. But you don't need to do that. I'm only drawing heavy because I want this to show up on the camera. So there is our circle. That is step number 1. Now, my little baby bird is a happy little bird, and he is singing. He's looking up to the sky. He is so happy, and he's just singing his little heart out. So, his beak will be pointing upwards since he is looking up. So I'm going to come here, and this is the top part of his beak. And then we'll add the bottom part, and his mouth is open because he's singing a beautiful song. There we go. Now this needs to look a little more attached to his body. So come along and draw this little half circle attaching each ends of these lines here. And then we'll take where his beak connects and draw a straight line right across there. And now we have his beak drawn. And he looks like a bird already. Now he needs an eye. That's another important thing for a little bird to have. So I draw this little light line that would come up here in what I would call a smile. And I do a little curve. Now, you don't need to do this. You can put the eye anywhere you want. But I like to nest his eye right inside that little curve like that. And there we go. Just draw a fairly large circle for the size of his body. Now, if a bird had an eye that big, he'd look funny. But our guy, he looks cute. Now inside that, we're going to make an inner ring. This is the edges of his eye. Now, a bird's eye will look nothing like what we're drawing, most likely. But our bird is a whimsical bird, so we can draw any kind of eye we want. And he's looking up at the sky, so we're going to make a line right here, and this part will be the dark part of his eye. Just like that. Now, have you ever looked into someone's eyes? If there's someone around, or even one of your pets, a dog or a cat, go look in their eye. And you know what you'll see? You'll see this tiny little white gleam. It's just like it's something shiny, and our eyes are wet and shiny. And we want to always add that in something we're drawing that's alive. Now you can make this any shape you want. I just do a little rectangle in mine. You can do little dots, little circles, and that will help your little bird that you're drawing look like he's alive. There we go. All right, we are all ready to draw the wings. Now these little wings, if you can draw a tear shape or a raindrop shape, you're ready to go. So we're going to come down here, drop a little bit below that eye, and we're going to draw a tear shape. There you go. One on the other side there and one on the bottom. And there's our wing. Wasn't that easy? This is such an easy little bird, but he comes out so cute. Now, the tail is almost exactly the same. It's just flipped over this way. Come up to the top, maybe to the left a little bit, and draw a bigger teardrop shape. One to the right. Now, I messed up there a little bit, but I'm going to straighten that out. And we will erase any lines we don't want before we're finished. Now, we need to do, and you know, for me to come this way is awkward. So I'm going to twist my paper a little bit so I can do a better teardrop shape. There we go. There is our tail feathers. Now let's give him some legs. Gotta have some legs. Come along the side here, and I'm giving mine long legs. That's because I think that's cute. And make kind of a slight curvy line like that. Let's go to the other side, and it's okay if we draw through these wings because we're going to erase unwanted lines. Now, there you go. He's got part of two legs. Let's even them out a little bit here. Now, we need to do the other side, so it will start somewhere up here in the wing area, depending on how long your wings are. Now, you might have short little wings, which is okay. We are going to draw a line that just comes down and meets at the bottom of our legs. In fact, mine aren't quite meeting, but that's okay. There we go. Now that was step 9 on our sheet, if you have that. Step 10, we're going to add some feet. Now birds have claws that go forward. I think they have like 3, and one that goes backwards. I'm just going to give my whimsical bird 3. So 2 that go forward and 1 that goes backwards. And we're going to do that on both feet. 2 going that way and 1 going that way. So now he has little bird feet. All right, where are we? We've given him almost everything he needs, haven't we? Let's give him some little feathers on the top of his head. That'll make him really cute. So come up here. I'm going to turn it this way a little bit, so I hope you can keep seeing it. We're going to do little jagged, like triangles up here that will look like his feathers. See those? You can do as many as you want. It depends on how much space you left there between his beak and his tail. Now I think it's time to decorate this bird up a little bit. On page 2, we start out with giving his tail a little bit more detail. So on mine, I'm going to draw a line like this. Now you can do whatever you want. This is your bird. With some little V shapes down it to make it look like his feathers. Isn't that cute? I just love these little birds. Now, on his wing, we could do the same thing, but I want to do something different. And if you're like me, my wings are going over some of these other lines. I think right now I'm going to erase the extra lines inside my wing. so I'm not drawing over the top. There's some original circle that we drew in there, and then there are some leg lines that we just drew. And it would be easier to erase these now than to do that later. I'm trying to hurry a little bit. You take your time and do this as well as you possibly can. And here's another thing you can do when you're drawing with pencil and you're erasing. Take one of these little brushes and you can just flick it off without, if you do this with your hand, you might smudge your pencil lead. There we go. Now I'm going to do a little curly cue in my wing feathers just to be different, but you can do anything you want. This is your little bird. There we go. He's looking fancier already, isn't he? Okay, I'm going to give my bird some striped tights. And since a bird's legs are round, like cylinders, give these lines of stripes just a little bit of a curve to it. I'm curving mine down just a little bit. And that helps make the legs look round instead of flat, like it was a piece of paper. Why would it look like it's a piece of paper? I don't know. Now I'm just going to draw them on this leg too, kind of coming across from where the others were, but I'm not worrying about it too much. He might not have put his tights on straight this morning. There we go. How do you like that? Now my bird is a baby bird. And have you ever noticed how baby birds will have little spots under their little beak? So let's add some spots under here for our little baby bird. Just little spots. Speckles. There we go. Now he needs a nostril hole so he can breathe. And again, I have some lines there that's in the road. This is our original circle, so let's get rid of those lines. If you draw several of these, you'll know what lines to keep and what ones to get rid of, and you may do this as you draw and not have all this erasing. Now there's a little nostril line, and right around where this attaches, I like to have a little ring. Something like what was around the eye. There we go. Now, where are we? Oh, yes. Let's come in and make some little tiny lines in this ring going around the eye. Just like this. Now, let's see, I think you should be about done with the outline of your bird. I think you are. Now let's go find any lines in here that we don't want. I had a little smile line here that needs to go away. Neatly try to erase. Okay. Now if this is going to be a pencil picture, you can fill in some of these spots. Like I would fill in on his eye and make a nice dark eye. Just like this. Now you may be planning on using your colored pencils or markers to finish him off, and you can use those to do this part, or go ahead and do it with your pencil. You could finish him off with a pen, which would be neat. I would also color in the stripes on his legs, just to give him some more contrast. Now I'm going to do this kind of as quick as I can. You take your time. And the best way to get something nice and smooth with your pencil or with colored pencils is to work in tiny, tiny little circles. And you will get a nice, smooth texture. Now that takes time, which means you also need some patience. And I'm not going to do that on camera. I tell you what, what we'll do is just speed me up doing it. How's that? There we go. Now we have his legs, his tights colored in. The next thing you'll need to do is to go ahead and possibly strengthen some of your lines. If you drew lightly like I suggested that you do, you'll want to go in and go over them with your pencil or with a pen and make a pen drawing. That can look really neat. So go through and strengthen your lines. Be sure everything is erased. If you've missed anything, now is the time to catch it. And I think you are done with your bird. Oh, I see a line I didn't get. Look up here. You know, it really would be tragic to not have that line erased. But I like it better with it gone. There we go. His little head feathers will show up now. I think our little birdie is downright cute. What do you think? All right. We will have a tutorial showing you how to watercolor this bird. So watch out for that tutorial. It will be up very soon, and I hope you have enjoyed this. And we will see you soon. Bye-bye now.